and welcome to another edition of EastCast. My name is Maria Catchman, and with me is
Rob Holmes.
Our first interview tonight is with Dr. Obriza and Dr. Sherman.
Hi, this is Manez Kanga for EastCast, and today I'm here with Dr. Obriza and Dr. Sherman. Dr. Obriza, can you please explain to us the email registration and how parents will register on back-to-school night?
Yes, this is part of an arrangement that we've been encouraged to pursue by Dr. Sherman, and really it's in our interest and it's in the interest of communication to establish an email system whereby we can communicate with our parents and our students electronically. All right, we're going to have a registration session at Back to School Night. There will be people available in both cafeterias and outside of the library, and their job will be to register families and who wish to be recognized through and notified through our email system.
Dr. Sherman, can you please tell us the importance of email registration for the parents?
Be glad to. I'm asking all the principals at all 19 of our schools to come up with a plan by October 1st to do two things. First, within their schools to do communication with teachers and even with students through electronic means, whether it's through television, such as this, email communication through using the website. Any one of those forms, I think, would be probably cheaper, more financially appropriate, and also a quicker way. Sometimes when you have to run the stuff off the machine and get it out, you can have a lapse of a couple of hours or even a couple of days. The second thing as part of that October 1st deadline is make a plan for the rest of the year to communicate with parents. We spend over $100,000 a year as a school district on postage and over $150,000 on paper for communication to students and to parents. If we can convert that $250,000 back to instructional materials, to additional teachers, to appropriate resources, television cameras perhaps, whatever we need in our schools, I think it would be something well gained for our entire school district. And at the same time that we increase the spending that we have on the instruction, we'd improve communications.
So it's a good way for email registration because sometimes kids don't bring home letters and it's a good way for parents.
We know high school students and middle school students lose them in the bottom of their backpacks. As a parent, I know that what I could find out is if I turned to Rachel and Sarah and say, show me your backpack, and I found stuff from months ago, from letters, from the guidance department or from the high school principal or the middle school principal. I think this is a way of increasing communication. The only caution we have is we know that not all families have computers that have at home or have internet access. So I'm also asking Dr. Obriza to find out who those parents are, who those families are, so we can still communicate to them in regular mail, snail mail communication.
It was a pleasure speaking to both of you. Parents, please register for the email registration. This is Manez Kanga, back to the studio.
Parent registration is definitely very important. I think that since so many people do use a computer these days, that it's a really good idea for the school to save money. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think it's really important too. I know my parents use email all the time. Everything they do is from email, so I think it's really good, and it saves the district a lot of money. So I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, so we both agree that it's a really good idea. So parents, if you get a chance, please register on Back to School Night for email registration. So Rob, I hear you have a story for us?
Yeah, now we go over to Sade Bishop with Keeping It Real.
Yeah, this is Sade Bishop with Keeping It Real. This week, we're in the student parking lot. Why is it $50 to park here? Some schools get it half off. Other schools get it free. Let's keep it real. Why are we so expensive? Sade Bishop and Keeping It Real.
Officer Wood told me that the $50 is going towards security cameras and keeping the parking lot all nice and clean. But it is a little high, and I think the teachers kick in a little bit. What do you think about this?
Well, I agree. All except Mr. Musumeci, of course. I've seen his car. It doesn't look like he can afford the $50. And now, for a new segment on EastCast, Erica Klasmer has the story.
Hello, and welcome to a new segment here at East entitled Outside Cougar Country. On this segment, we're going to interview various staff members and teachers here at East who have lives outside of school. Today, I have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Steele, who has a variety of interests. So, Mr. Steele, how long have you been teaching here at East?
I've been teaching for 19 years here at East and 33 in Cherry Hill.
And tell us, I understand you have many interests outside of school. Can you tell us about these interests?
Well, I like sports an awful lot, but really my first love outside of school is definitely music. I've been playing for many, many years, ever since I was a little kid. Been in a lot of bands, still play today with some of the other teachers in school from time to time, and outside around the local coffee house circuit.
Now, I understand you have a CD. Can you tell us about your CD?
A CD that I just finished up last year is my third work that I put on some type of medium. I had a 45 out a number of years ago. I put a tape out a few years ago, and then this is the first thing I put out on CD. It's a cross-section of material that I've written from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even into the 21st century. So it's got 17 songs. It's a little over an hour long. It's country rock, little folk, some rock and roll, and there's even a kind of like a grunge rock tune in there too.
And I understand the price has a certain significance. Can you tell us the significance of the price?
Yes, remembering that I teach history, I decided to charge $12.15. Some people remember that 1215 was the year Magna Carta was signed, and I felt that that was a very, very nice historical date to focus on, since it was, furthering the cause of human rights and the rights of the individual.
And I understand, since you've been a teacher here at East for quite a while, that retirement is an option. Do you plan to pursue music all the time once you retire, or?
I haven't really given retirement much thought. I still like what I'm doing, and I still think that I'm viable. I enjoy the kids every day, and my love of music I'm able to use in the classroom too when we do things with historical significance, whether it's the Vietnam War, which a whole slew of music was dealing with that. Also with the songs with like Neil Young dealing with the treatment of the Native American people with Cortez and the Spaniards when they came over. So music allows me the opportunity to use this love I have for music even in the classroom. It works nicely.
Thank you, Mr. Steele, and that's it for this week's Outside Cougar Country. We look forward to the upcoming weeks when we will have some interviews with other staff members and teachers. I'm Erica Klasmer, and now back to the studio.
Wow, Mr. Steele really does a lot out of school. He's a very talented musician, so you guys should definitely check out his new CD. What do you think?
I heard him play before. He's really good. It's really good music. For $12.15, it's really cheap. It's really good. I think everybody should go out and buy it. But speaking of entertaining, now we go over to Chris Williams for the entertainment report.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is Chris Williams with your weekly movie review. Lights, camera, action. Of course, you know Chris Williams went to movie theater, and I had a lot of movies in mind this week, but I just couldn't fight temptation. And what do you know? I saw The Fighting Temptations. Now, this movie was great. It was funny from beginning to end, and I had a lot of fun watching it. I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. And also, I kept my foot tapping because, of course, the music was great. A lot of church music. I had a lot of fun. Now, Cuba Gooding Jr. starred in the movie. He was electrifying the screen, showed a lot of great dance moves. And of course, he was great on the screen, very funny. Beyonce knows, gorgeous as usual. She showed a lot of good acting skills as playing a single mother. And also an added comedy by Mike Epps and Steve Harvey. They were also very funny. Movie is great. You can go see it with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, just the guys, just the girls, or even have both. Movie was great. Chris Williams, I give it 2 thumbs up. Now back to you guys.
Well, thanks, Chris. That sounds like a really interesting movie, and I think Cuba Gooding Jr. is a really good actor, and Beyonce Knowles is pretty hot. So I think I'll go see that movie next chance I get.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see something funny besides you. And now Jordan Ludwig is here with the weekly sports report.
Hi, I'm Jordan Logan. I'm here to recap a busy week in Cougar sports. The girls' soccer team started things off with a 3-2 overtime victory over Vineland. Shane Herman roared first for the Cougars, but Vineland quickly countered with 2 unanswered goals. With little time left in the second half, Dana DeBruno scored to send the game into overtime. On an assist with Dana DeBruno, Jesse Young scored the game-winning goal and got the Cougars their first win. In boys' soccer action, the boys' team beat Vineland 4-1. Goals were scored by Paul Caracciolo, Jack Keys, Sean Burkowski, and Dan Hamill had 9 saves in goal. Now, in tennis action, led by Jackie Herb, the Cougars defeated their rival Easterns 4-1. In girls' cross-country action, Dale Burton and Lawrence Garpedo came in 1-2 to beat Washington Township. More on girls' cross-country in the Challenge Cup, Dale Burton, Holly Muller, and Lawrence Garpedo all medaled for the Cougars. In boys cross country action, the boys team led by Adam Coyle and his time of 17:42 defeated Shawnee and Washington Township. In a rare Thursday night game, the Cougars football team took on the Eastern Vikings. Unfortunately, the Vikings took an early lead and the Cougars could never recover, getting down 37-0. But one bright spot for the Cougars was Al Valentine's 65-yard touchdown run, which gave the Cougars hope for next week. This Saturday, October 4th, is the Cougars' first home game against Lenape. Let's have a big crowd out there to support them at West. On a good note, the girls' volleyball team destroyed Eastern in 5 sets, led by Marcy Polite. The girls look very good this year and should have a good shot in states. And finally, with field hockey, the girls took on Cherokee, but unfortunately lost 5-1. The team is looking better this year, and that first win is sure to come soon. And that's all for sports this week. Now back to you guys in studio.
Thank you, Jordan, for the sports report. Remember, parents, back to school night is Thursday, October 2nd. Homeroom starts at 7:15. Don't be late. And remember, don't forget to register for emailing.
And if you don't have email, you'll still get information in the mail.
That's all for EastCast. My name's Maria Katcherman, along with
Funny man Rob Holmes.
Chris Williams movement, always beautiful.
And Jordan Lotto again sports.
have a great week. Go Cougars.
Spirit Week got the blood flowing and the school spirit pumping through everybody's veins. One of the highlighting events included the tug of war, which the juniors won by 200 points for boys and girls. Many students enjoy childhood reminiscing through the tricycle race. However, the sophomores enjoyed it the most because they won. The culminating event of Spirit Week is always a pep rally on Friday. In preparation for the rally, students credit their classes with points by wearing red and white to school on Friday. A total of 1,152 people were clad in the colors to be proud of. At the pep rally itself, the members of all the East teams were introduced. The Cougarettes and the cheerleaders performed for the students, and everyone got psyched for the final competition of the week, the jump rope. Fighting for their lives and their honor, the class of '89 did it once again. Even though Mr. DeLuca's dreams of the jump rope being worth the needed 2,000 points did not come true. And for the first time in a number of years, the senior class lost Spirit Week to the juniors, who had a total of 9,643 points. The seniors were second with 8,067 points, the sophomores third with 7,825 points, and the freshmen finished with 5,414 points. But remember, the spirit has only begun. Come out and support your class, your teams, and your school.
This past summer, 6 young ladies from East attended Girls State. Girls State is a week-long program held at Rider College during which the students learn about government and the rights of citizens. This year's delegates were Amy Shapiro, Marcy Shapiro, Nidhi Kapoor, Kathy Makara, Lisa Farrell, and Jennifer Purnell, who could not be with us today. And now, here is EastCast Scott Ross with an interview with Girls State members.
Lisa, how did you become a Girls State delegate?
Well, first we were nominated by a teacher, and then we submitted an application. And after that, we were interviewed by the American Legion Ladies Auxiliary, and they chose who the alternates and delegates would be.
We'd like to dedicate this to Mrs. Louise Breen. A 5, 6, a 5, 6, 7, 8. We're Girls State. We're Girls
This has been Scott Ross, signing off with EastCast.
We're Girls State. We're Girls State.
In sports, last Saturday, Cherry Hill East football team defeated Pennsauken's team by a shadingly close score of 28-27. The National Division champion team of Pennsauken suffered their loss due to excellent plays that were strategically performed by East players. Glenn Foley completed 17 out of 24 passes for 268 yards and scored on the 1-yard line in the second quarter. Foley also assisted Steve LaBelle with a touchdown pass on the 17th-yard line. Steve Eigenrauh scored 4 extra points, and Bill Phoebus scored a touchdown in the third quarter. Although Coach Wood would have liked a larger margin in the score, East congratulates the Cougars on their victory and wishes them luck on their next game. We are looking forward to an exciting season with the East Cougars.
In alumni news, Oriole Leonard Hershiser is a 30-year-old Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher who has just set the record for consecutive scoreless innings, breaking Don Drysdale's legendary streak of 58. This This almost legendary player is an alumni of Cherry Hill East High School, one of the star pitchers for the Cougars. Congratulations, Oral Hershiser.
Last Thursday, Cherry Hill High School West had a historic moment. The Delaware Gym became the Walsh Gym. It was renamed in memory of Martin Walsh, a dedicated English teacher at West for 11 years and in the district for 27 years. In this gym, he spent many hours coaching the girls' basketball team. Among the guests to this tribute were his family, the mayor, and Dr. Esprant, superintendent of schools. I spoke to some members of the English department who said that Mr. Walsh was a wonderful teacher, a fine friend, and a gentle, unassuming man whose spirit and dedication made him care more about others than himself.
This Wednesday, the Spanish Club hosted the annual Spanish banquet with the 2 Spanish exchange students as the guests of honor. As you see, there was entertainment and food galore. A special treat for all who attended was being able to try a variety of American and Spanish cuisine because all who came were asked to prepare a different food. It was considered to be a big success because of the large number of people there to enjoy the festivities. Also last week, elections were held to determine the 88-89 officers of the Spanish Club. The new president of the Spanish Club at West is Dan Cronin. For vice president, Janice Carter. Secretary, Susanna Philippoussos, and for the position of treasurer, Simona Wong. To all the applicants not elected, better luck next year. The director of the Spanish Club is Mrs. Helena Brown, a Spanish teacher here at West.
Are you too young to vote in the United States presidential election? Well, now you have a chance. On October 31st, there will be a mock voter registration for a mock election on November 4th in the cafeteria. On November 7th, a day before the real election, you will find out what Cherry Hill West as a whole has decided. Last week, I took a presidential poll in fourth period lunch. I found out that Dukakis won 60 votes, Bush 56, with 23 people undecided. If West students resemble how the country is going to vote, then this is going to be a close one.
Good evening and welcome to the West Report. I'm Justin Sachs.
And I'm Rebecca Cundiff. On Friday, September 26th, the senior class was given a ballot in homeroom listing the 7 remaining songs for the senior prom theme. They were asked to vote on their favorite song, and then the votes were counted and were narrowed down to the top 3 songs. Once the top 3 songs were chosen, they will be played over the loudspeaker one day this week, and the seniors will be asked again to vote for their favorite song out of the top 3. Once one song has been chosen, it will become the theme for the senior prom. And now here's an interview I had with the senior prom committee chair people. Hi, I'm Rebecca Cundiff, and I'm here with seniors Daniela Cordisco and Jade Mostyn, the chair people of the senior prom committee. What sort of process did you go through to choose the songs for the theme songs for the prom?
Well, before we started actually narrowing down the songs, we had people come in to either me or to Jade and give us ideas for songs that they'd like to hear at their prom. And we basically just compiled a list of people's favorite songs. And then from there.
Do you have anything to add, Jade?
No, not really. Just like songs from like movies or just really nice love songs that weren't all like love songs. So.
And how did you come up with the top 3 songs?
Well, once we had our songs narrowed down to the top 7, we then put ballots out to the entire class. We had them voting in homeroom on Friday, And we basically just took the 3 most popular songs, and those will be the next ballot that we put out.
And what are the top 3 songs?
It's Bill Medley and Jennifer Warner's I've Had the Time of My Life. Billy Joel's This is the Time or whatever. And what's the other one? Aerosmith's Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Thank you. Back to the studio.
The cheerleading team will be participating in a walk for cancer. I was fortunate enough to get an interview with the cheerleading coach, Miss Bowen.
Well, we decided to do the Walk for Cancer. Primarily, our initial reason was we have a cheerleader whose mom has cancer, and we couldn't find the particular cancer that she has locally, so we chose the Breast Cancer Walk, which is October 5th on Sunday, right here in Cherry Hill.
Okay, do you know about how much you plan to make?
We're hoping to raise at least $25 per girl that attends. I told them 50 should be your goal because you get a t-shirt then, and we can write all the members' names on there and keep it as a keepsake for us.
Okay, anything else you'd like to say?
I just, would like to say that we're trying to get community service at a different level now. Have the girls participating in sports is one thing, but be able to get together and help the community is another. And I hope we're achieving that, at an early stage.
Okay, and back to the studio.
During homeroom on Friday, September 26th, the sophomore class went to the old auditorium for a mini-meeting. The topic of the mini-meeting was the National Honor Society. At the meeting, the 4 current senior officers of the National Honor Society each gave a speech to the sophomore class. In their speech, each officer went into detail about one of the 4 qualifications, which are leadership, community service, academic, and character of the National Honor Society. They also discussed the importance of being a part of the National Honor Society so the sophomore class will be able to prepare to be in the National Honor Society next year. And now here's my interview with the current NHS officers. I'm here with the NHS officers for the senior year. David Pletcher, the Vice President, Gary DeTurk, the Vice President, Lisa Fong, the Secretary, and here Tess by the Treasurer. What sort of goals do you hope to accomplish this year?
We have a tutoring program that we'd like to publicize more this year, and we hope to see a lot. We'd like to see a lot more kids out there this year. That's probably our biggest goal for the year.
And what sort of responsibilities do you have in the NHS as officers?
I'm supposed to make sure that the bulletin board is updated every week, and I'm supposed to make sure that everything's organized.
And back to the studio.
This summer, a select group of students participated in a science program with either Dr. Xin-Lang Ma, Department of Emergency Medicine at Thomas Jefferson University, Dr. Stephen Farber, Department of Microbiology and Immunology at Thomas Jefferson University, or Dr. Russell Buono, Department of Psychiatry at the University of Pennsylvania. The students assisted in experiments concerning biomedical research using animal models. Dr. Ma in the area of circulatory shock, Dr. Farber in cholesterol metabolism, and Dr. Buono studied epilepsy at the molecular level using bacteria. Some students were selected based upon a completed application form, a 300 to 400 word essay, and their academic records. These students will share their experiences at West's Back to School Night.
And now here's Justin talking to a few seniors about graduation and their plans for college.
Hi, I'm here with Gabe Rez, a senior, and Gabe, what are your plans for next year after you graduate?
My plans for next year after I graduate is to hopefully go to college. I have a couple of schools lined up that I want to apply for that I'm deciding to go for like musical theater and drama and such. So I have a lot of auditions lined up. Just crossing my fingers for now.
Any schools in mind?
Tisch at NYU, Boston Conservatory, Juilliard, a lot of hopes and dream schools, I figure I'll just hope for the best and let them say no.
All right, what are you planning to do this year to help yourself get ready for that?
My plan this year is to just end strong. You know what I mean? Academically, I can't drop any classes. I'm deciding to go full force, finish up strong, and to, just try to get everything done on time.
All right, and what have you done so far to get ready?
so far, what I've done to get ready is. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is an interview. Hold up. So as of right now, what I've been trying to do more or less is just have some audition dates set up. You know, early admission stuff. I want to stay on top of that. It's just a lot of stuff to juggle, you know?
All right, thank you. Hi, I'm here with Ashley Strojan. Ashley, what are your plans for next year after you graduate?
Hopefully to go to college and be successful.
Any colleges in mind?
Somewhere pretty close, Rutgers or Towson.
What have you done? What are your plans for this year to get there?
Just to work hard and hope.
Any clue what you want to major in, or?
Probably communications.
That's good. And what have you done so far to get ready for it?
Nothing really. I'm a little bit behind, but I have to I have to get my resume together and start looking into colleges.
All right, thanks. Hi, I'm here with Carrie Gull, a senior at Cherry Hill West. Carrie, what are your plans for next year after graduation?
I plan on studying journalism, specifically broadcast journalism. I'm not really sure where I want to go yet, though I'm still looking, but I'll probably know pretty well where I want to go later on, but definitely broadcast journalism is one.
What are your plans for the coming up year to get ready for that?
I'm going to be taking the SATs on October 11th for the second time, and I'm hoping to raise my score a bit because I didn't really do as well when I first took them. And just to do my best this year, so my grades look good on my transcript.
All right, and what have you done so far to get ready for them?
I've been seeing a tutor for my SATs, but the school year's just begun. But I'm taking all my work seriously and stuff. So I just want to do well, especially in this first marking period as well.
All right, thank you, and back to the studio. Now here's Ryan Gross with this week's sports.
Thanks, Justin. The football team played against Camden last Friday. 2 touchdowns were made by Drew Gardner from passes by Eddie Hernandez. The final score was West 13, Camden 20. The volleyball team beat Winslow Township by a score of 3-1. Some of West's scores included Kelly Smith, Allison Akose, and Teresa Hansel. Games that were canceled on September 23rd, which included boys JV and varsity soccer, junior freshman field hockey, varsity field hockey, junior varsity soccer, and varsity soccer have not been rescheduled yet. That's all for sports, and back to you guys.
And now here's Eric O'Neill with this week's movie review.
Thanks, Rebecca. The first great film of the fall season has arrived with Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation. Bill Murray stars as Bob Harris, an actor visiting Japan to do a whiskey commercial. He's at a midlife crisis point with a wife and children at home that he is emotionally distant from. Scarlett Johansson also stars as Charlotte, a recently wed woman staying in the same hotel as Bob because her photographer husband is also doing work in Japan. She's in her early 20s, but is already at an emotionally empty point in her life like Bob is, and is having second thoughts about her marriage. The two meet and form a special bond during their last few days in Japan. It's not a typical affair that most movies would involve. Their relationship is simple yet much deeper than a sexual fling. Director Sofia Coppola has come a long way to break her from her image as that bad actress from The Godfather Part 3. This is her second film following the Virgin Suicides, and she also served as the original screenwriter for Lost in Translation, so she is also responsible for bringing depth and understanding to these characters. This could easily be classified as a comedy with its ample supply of funny scenes, but it's a mature and touching film as well. Bill Murray is in top form, and the young Scarlett Johansson is sensational. Definitely an actress to watch out for. I give Lost in Translation 3.5 stars out of 4. I'm Eric O'Neill, now back to the West Report.
If you're watching this now, you're missing Back to School Night, which is going on right now. The t-shirt order forms and car decal orders are now on sale.
Also at Back to School Night, a senior trip raffle is being auctioned off for a free senior trip. And the first payment of that would be October 10th.
On Friday, October 3rd, the senior class is having Cherries Night from 7 to 9:30. Thank you for watching the West Report. Please join us next week. Good night.
Good night.